One thing that Turkey does very well is shish kebabs. So it's no surprise that this player's name fits perfectly with Turkish culture, and I do kind of mean it. Patryk Szysz, I had to get a pronouncer on the name because it was a little bit of a tongue twister, plays for the team that I mentioned in the last video. He plays for Istanbul, Başakşehir. And this video is a case of goals not being a deciding factor. They never ever are in Scouting Report, by the way. The other attributes are a main factor. Patryk Szysz, a Polish forward/winger, is 25 years old, but already he's had to carry the weight of being an important player for teams. It's not so the case in Turkey, but he's shown that he's a very useful team player. And even though he hasn't scored tons of goals for his current club, he is at least showing everything else that I think makes him impressive and a good backup winger option to Jarrod Bowen. So what is there to tell about this guy? Well, you're going to have to keep watching, whether you like it or not, because you're going to find out. Patryk Szysz has spent most of his career in his native Poland. The transfer to Istanbul Başakşehir was the first time he'd ever left his homeland to play football. Despite a little bit of a nervy start to life in Turkey, he's certainly flourished and scored some important goals for his team. I see quality in this guy, and my remit always is that no league is a tin pot league. Well, I don't think that about Turkish football at all. And for Turkish football fans who are watching this, I'm trying to praise your league because it has got some such talented players. It's a diverse league, it's a multicultural league, and it's a great place for players to grow. Szysz is growing there. Do you think his nickname actually is something like Shish Kebab while he's in Turkey? Do you think that's been mentioned in the dressing room? Because I'm going to start calling him this from now on, Shish Kebab. That's going to be his nickname, even though I've never really heard the guy prior to doing this. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what Patryk Shish Kebab is all about. And by the way, they're some of the best in the world, like I say. I'm not a big Doner fan, but I got to respect Turkish food. And I got to respect Polish food as well. That's very underrated. If you've never had it, have it. Szysz made his debut for Górnik Lesznan in 2016. Although he was looking promising, he was loaned out to Motor Lublin, his boyhood team, and he gained a reputation for being a very dazzling player who caught the attention of many other coaches across Poland. He joined Zagłębie Lubin in 2019 and was used mainly as a winger. He scored 23 goals in 100 games for the club before he got the transfer over to Turkey. He's a former Poland under-21 international as well. And ever since he moved to Turkey, he's wanted to hold down a place in the first team. It's been quite tough for him at times, but he's shown that he can come off the bench and make an impact. And impact players, in my mind anyway, are as good as the starters. And they deserve to feature in Scouting Report, regardless of their name or whatever. Other criteria is taken into account, of course. But Patryk Szysz is making an impact off the bench, and that's what West Ham needs. Players who can change a game when they come on. Szysz is a very flexible and dynamic winger for a start. He's noted for his acrobatics and pace. He's scored a fair few overhead kicks before in his time, and he's actually pretty good at it. He also perfects half volleys. He's just got that timing and patience, an art form that takes years to perfect in some cases. He's also a very instinctive winger who can predict how the ball will be played, and as a result, he acts as a goal poacher who taps in from the side. Some of his goals have come from simple tap-ins and just him being in the right place at the right time. If you're in the right place at the right time, you're more likely to score the goal, and you just know where things are going to happen. As a striker as well, this is a position he can play. He prefers to go one-on-one from a through ball, and as a winger, he acts as a support mechanism. You have that versatility with him. Does he go straight down the middle and strikes for a one-on-one situation, or does he act as an assister? Works both ways. He's either a threat from a one-on-one, or he's a team player, or he's both. So you're getting a bit of the best of both worlds with this 25-year-old Pole. And if he wants to go from Poland to Istanbul to London, then I can pay for his flight. Actually, no, I can't, because that's probably quite a bit of money. And but I'll put a good word in for him, don't worry. And he actually, by the way, does speak English quite well. So he's going to settle into London right away. And before you know it, he'll be wearing a flat cap and talking like Del Boy. And that way, you know he's integrated into the East End West Ham culture.